Hey guys, it's Eric here at Farpoint Farms. Check it out. All Powers was kind enough to send this my way. After seeing some of the videos on the storm, they decided to reach out and offer me this. This is the R1500. It is a solar battery pack, a solar charger. Battery chemistry is lithium iron phosphate. It is 1,152 watt hours, 48 volts. So it is a 24 amp hour battery that's stuffed in this little booger. AC output at 120 volts is 15 amp max. Solar input is 650 watts max, 36 watts max, USB-A 200 watts max, and it does have a wireless charger as well. Let me go ahead and get this thing out. We'll get it on the table and we'll take a closer look. Let's do it. All right, not much in the package to talk about. Let's go ahead and get what we have in here out, and that is this. So it does come with our fast charging cable here for AC to AC charging. And it does have this little packet here, which includes warranty information, some other stuff here, it looks like. Let's see here. Yeah, the R1500. And it's 16 pages all in English here. It weighs 36.8 pounds. Like I said, 1,152 watt hours, which is 48 volts, 24 amp hours. So think about a 100 amp hour 12 volt battery, right? You can cut that in 4 and you end up with about 25 amp hours. So that's what we're looking at here, about one of those car size batteries at 12 volts, right? So AC input, like I said before, is 15 amp max. Solar input is 650 watt max, right? Charge and discharge is basically 32 degrees. So right at freezing all the way up to 104 degrees would be our charging temperature. We can use it down to 14 degrees, so below freezing. And we can store it all the way down to -4. So we're looking pretty good on that. Uses an Anderson plug to plug into our solar panels. And then we can hook extra batteries. It also has an app that comes with it, it looks like, which I've never really understood the reasoning to have an app for something like this, but I suppose it's out there. So let's take a look. Up on top, it has 2 spots to lay phones for like wireless charging, which apparently is a thing now. And then down the bottom here, nice like covered over waterproof cases, that, or not waterproof, but like splash proof probably. And we have 4 120 outlets. Over here on the right is going to be our USB-A and C ports. And then on the left over here, we've got a regular old-fashioned cigarette lighter. And then the center button, we power everything up. 76% charge. You can see here on the bottom we have an hour symbol, 45 hours at no charge, right? Output and input. So this is a pass-through type charger where we can bring in solar and put out energy all at the same time, which is nice. And we can power up each individual thing here. You can see now it's showing our wireless Bluetooth connectivity here. We can charge up the AC, and you can see the little AC plug there, 60 hertz, and it's going to tell you how many, like it's saying 10 days is basically the runtime with no wattage. But once you start adding stuff in here, then you start seeing it come back down. Okay, on this side of this beautiful big old girl here, a lot of ventilation ports, and this right here is going to be for our external battery hookup. So this allows you to expand this thing. You can add more batteries to it. All Power sells batteries that work with this. They have a couple other different models, but just make sure if you're going to order a battery for these that you're getting the one that works with the R1500. And on this back here, there's no light or anything, but let me just see here. Yeah, it just says R1500, kind of the same information, and of course a serial number as well to go with that. So that's what that looks like. This side here we have our charging setup. So here is where our AC plug goes into. We have our Anderson plug on the side, and we do have a resettable fuse. So if for some reason it got squirrely, it got out of hand, I guess, if something went wrong, overcharging or whatnot, it should blow that fuse to help out with that. Cool. Well, there's not a whole lot to it, which is not a bad thing at all. It just hopefully functions and continues to function and work as time goes on. Turn it on, turn it off, pretty much. So this will be used down for our deep freeze. We're going to hook this up. I've got a R400 panel, and here's a some background video of that while I tell you about it. So it's 400 watts, foldable, it can be put away. In our case, we're just going to deploy it. We'll put it up on the roof of the garage, run an extension down, and plug into this so that we can get power pretty much all the time when needed to keep this thing topped off. And it's available. You can buy these with a kit that has both this and the or the 400 watt panel. They even sell a 600 watt foldable panel. And I've got one of those as well. In fact, that's what we use here at the studio to keep the power packs up here fully charged when we're not in use. And so they do make a pretty cool variety of stuff. All Power's been around a couple years. I've reviewed a few of their products. I had the 3500, which is no longer with us, and I've had, I think, the R600, which was a much smaller unit. Now, if I recall, the R600 didn't allow pass-through charging, but it's been a while, so don't take me at my word on that. So look, that's what it is. Why would you want to own something like this? Well, having gone through Hurricane Helene and having to use these things to ensure that my food didn't go bad, that the lights stayed on when needed, and that we were able to operate some of the equipment we have here, these really paid for themselves in one event. Is every power outage event going to be as drastic as Helene? I sure hope not. But it certainly was an interesting way to spend 2 weeks of my life. That being said, I think that we have used these for other purposes. You can offset your energy costs by going through with solar and running just specific equipment off of it. Like I said, this one's going to run our deep freezer 24/7. With solar and this, you should never have to plug your refrigerator or your deep freezer into a wall outlet again. And that pays for itself in the course of 2 years usually of usage, and you've broken even. Another 2 years, and you're starting to put money in your pocket to operate your equipment. So that's what's really cool about these things. Well, I guess what I'll do is not a terribly long video, but I will leave a link to where you can pick up one of these, and I'll see you next time. Take care.